this training, we will go through our ESS PIN, an ESS Employee Pin Detail record, and the login role assignment to find an employee's access to the online system. The Employee ESS Pin Detail is also known as the Employee ESS Users Table and the Employee Self-Service Pin Detail, which can be accessed through the HR EE Master on the primary Employee Master tab. The Employee Pin Detail for the employee provides access to the screens used to assign the employee to roles and to work groups. Right from the top, you can see that there are a few defined fields on the Employee ESS Pin Deal. The employee number and name display to indicate who you are looking at. Additionally, the active indicator enables this employee to be able to follow the settings set forth in this ESS PIN. By default, if the employee is active, the ESS PIN record will also be enabled. The group helps to point to the security settings or the security group. By default, admin group is selected and ultimately the role points to the amount of security a specific person may have. If further customization is required, such as hiding a particular field or filtering for a specific group of individuals within a specific role, different security groups can be used to grant or take away particular access. At that time, your account manager should have a further discussion to finish the setup. The secret keyword does help to be referenced when talking to an employee who is requesting that his or her password be reset, but the secret keyword is otherwise unused in the system. The email address, optionally, can be used to enter an employee's corporate or personal email address for login and system notifications. This email address can be entered instead of the employee number on the login page. When the email option is selected for a system notification, the system sends notifications to the email address on the Employee ESS Pin Detail defined for the employee or supervisor. The email address entered in this section doesn't display in the Employee Self-Service phone book. In order to reset a password, click on the Set Password button. The Password Change dialog box opens. In order to change the password, you'll want to go ahead and type a new password in, retype a new password, and then click on the Set Password button. Once selected, a new line will display your password has been changed. You can then close the set box and move on, and it will be changed. As we scroll over, you will see a variety of indicators that can be enabled to control different settings within the system. Must change allows us to require the employee to change his or her password at first login. This is automatically defaulted to be checked upon new hire, as well as at any time an administrator manually changes the password in their ESS PIN. If you do not want to require the employee to change his or her password the next time they log in, click the Edit button and simply uncheck this setting. The next indicator, Manage Documents, helps to enable document upload, deletion, or any sort of edit permission for the company document screen. When checked, this individual will actually have an extra hyperlink within the company documents to be able to manage those settings. Read only allows the system to restrict an employee from being able to add, edit, or delete records on the standard screens that have toolbar icons. This control doesn't apply to the Employee ESS State Notification Detail or the Employee Out of Office Detail. By checking the Analytics User Indicator, you are granting this employee access to creating reports within Analytics. With Analytics, you can create dynamic, web-based reports that include visual elements and parameters that can be saved, rerun, and shared in minutes. Analytics is a licensed product that does tie to the number of seats or users that may access it. Those are only people who can design and publish those reports. but they can share the reports with those without seats. If you attempt to check this box and all seats purchased have been filled within the system will not allow you to save while this box is checked and will alert you to reach out to your account manager to grant access to more seats. The bank account auditor indicator helps to define those who have the right to sign off on all bank account changes prior to running payroll. For example, if an employee goes through an employee self-service and changes their net pay accounts or their direct deposit accounts, this individual would be able to sign off on that change prior to processing, posting, or restoring payroll. Those indicators also grant access to these individuals to process, post, and restore payroll. The Notes section allows you to track additional internal notes. I see a lot of companies use this area to maintain true notes tied to the specific ESS PIN security changes that may have happened over time. For example, if an employee had access to a particular role or setting and has had that access revoked, when you come into the ESS to grant access once again, you can read the internal notes from when the access was taken away prior. Finally, there are two boxes above where you can assign what roles and work groups the employee should have access to. By clicking on the Roles button, you will see a complete list of roles that are currently active in the system. By enabling a box next to the role and clicking Save, that employee will now be able to log in to the enabled role with all the settings and securities assigned to that role. Be advised, if you want to grant the employee access to an administrator role, such as the payroll and HR role, you will want to ensure that the group of admin is defined to give them full access to the role. If the group employee is set here, they will not have access to the full privileges within some of those administrator roles. Similarly, to assign work groups, the Assign Work Group allows you to add the work group to the individual. Work groups in the HCM are used to group particular individuals together for both transaction routing and system notification purposes. Like the role access, if enabled, the employee will be able to be added to the work group. If unenabled and click Save, they will be taken out of the work group. Overall, the ESS PIN helps to define the employee access to the online system, whether it be a role, a work group, or some sort of security setting.